For decades, Washington quarter dollars with the powerful eagle on the reverse were a symbol of classic American coinage. Then everything changed in 1999 when the Washington state quarter dollars were introduced. From the traditional eagle quarters to the detailed state series, some of these coins may look common, but certain rare dates, errors, and high-grade examples can be worth far more than face value. In today's video, we'll explore the differences, the history, and the hidden treasures behind both Washington quarter dollars and Washington state quarter dollars. So stay tuned with USA Old Coins X as we uncover what makes these quarters truly special. Top 1. We are exploring the United States of America Washington state quarter dollar Montana 2007, a coin that reflects wide open skies, rugged mountains, and the untamed beauty of the American West. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter from your pocket change, but when you truly examine it, you will discover a design filled with pride, symbolism, and surprising collector potential. The Montana quarter was released in 2007 as part of the historic 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever launched by the United States Mint. This ambitious series began in 1999 and honored each state in the order they joined the Union. Montana, admitted as the 41st state in 1889, was the 41st design released in the series. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, maintaining the long tradition of the Washington quarter that began in 1932. The reverse, however, tells Montana's story in a powerful and elegant way. The reverse design features a majestic American bison skull set against a rugged mountain landscape, with the state nickname Big Sky Country proudly inscribed. The imagery captures Montana's vast wilderness, natural beauty, and deep connection to frontier history. The bison skull is a symbol of strength and heritage, while the mountains reflect the state's dramatic terrain. This design resonates strongly with collectors who appreciate coins that tell a visual story of identity and place. Now let's focus on the physical specifications of the coin. The Montana 2007 state quarter weighs 5.67 grams, following the standard for modern clad quarters. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it the familiar size recognized across the United States. The thickness stands at 1.75 millimeters, ensuring durability for everyday use while preserving the detailed design elements. These measurements connect it directly to decades of Washington quarter production. The coin's composition consists of a pure copper core layered between outer shells made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This copper-nickel clad structure has been standard since 1965, replacing earlier silver quarters. Although the Montana quarter does not contain precious silver in its regular circulation form, its value is determined by condition, rarity and high grades, and collector demand rather than metal content. This specific version carries the P Mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The small p appears on the obverse side, identifying its origin. Philadelphia has a long and respected history in American coin production, and coins from this mint are carefully examined for strike quality and surface preservation. While millions of Montana quarters were produced for circulation, only a very small number survive in flawless condition. The 50 State Quarters program created a wave of excitement across the nation. Millions of Americans began checking their change, building maps, and starting coin collections for the first time. The Montana quarter holds a special place in that story because of its bold Western imagery and strong symbolism. Many people saved examples as souvenirs, but over time, most entered circulation and developed where, in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Circulated examples with scratches and dull surfaces typically remain worth face value. However, coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition with brilliant luster and sharp details are far rarer than many people realize. When such coins are certified at the highest grading levels, they can command astonishing prices in the marketplace. Collectors often search bankrolls and old collections hoping to discover a high-grade example. Modern coins may seem common, but finding one without contact marks or imperfections is incredibly challenging. As years pass and more coins show wear, untouched pieces become increasingly scarce. This growing scarcity, combined with strong collector interest in the State Quarters series, can drive values to impressive heights. The 2007 Montana State Quarter proves that even a coin designed for everyday transactions can transform into a significant collectible. It captures the essence of Big Sky country while also offering the thrill of potential financial reward. For many collectors, it represents both nostalgia from the State Quarters era and the excitement of discovering hidden value. And now we come to the number that captures every collector's attention. In extraordinary, top-certified condition, the Washington State Quarter Dollar Montana 2007 with the P Mint mark has reached a remarkable value of $78,000. Yes, a quarter celebrating the beauty of Montana can achieve a price of $78,000 when rarity, preservation, and collector demand align perfectly. Top 2. We are exploring the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar Connecticut 1999, one of the very first coins released in the legendary 50 State Quarters program. This coin is more than just 25 cents, it represents tradition, innovation, and the beginning of a collecting movement that captured the attention of millions across the nation. The Connecticut Quarter holds a special place in history because it was part of the very first year of the State Quarters series. Released in 1999, it honored Connecticut as the fifth state to join the Union in 1788. On the obverse, we see the familiar and dignified portrait of George Washington, a design that has defined the quarter since 1932. This consistency ties the new commemorative reverse designs to a long-standing American coin tradition. But when you flip the coin over, the story of Connecticut comes to life in a powerful and symbolic way. The reverse design features the famous charter oak tree, a symbol deeply connected to Connecticut's colonial history. According to legend, the colony's charter was hidden inside this very oak tree in 1687 to prevent it from being confiscated by the English governor. The image of the massive, spreading tree represents independence, resilience, and self-governance. By placing the charter oak on the coin, the United States Mint captured a defining moment of courage and defiance that shaped the state's identity. Now let's look at the physical specifications of this historic quarter. The Connecticut 1999 State Quarter weighs 5.67 grams, following the standard weight established for modern clad quarters. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it the familiar size Americans recognize instantly. The thickness stands at 1.75 millimeters, ensuring durability for circulation while preserving the intricate details of the design. These precise measurements connect it to decades of Washington quarter production. The coin's composition consists of a pure copper core layered between outer shells made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This copper-nickel clad structure has been standard since 1965, replacing the earlier silver quarters. While the Connecticut quarter does not contain precious metal in its regular circulating version, its value in the collector market depends on condition, rarity in high grades, and demand rather than metal content. This particular version carries the P Mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The small p appears on the obverse side, identifying its origin. Philadelphia has played a central role in American coinage since the nation's earliest days, and coins from this mint are closely examined for strike quality and surface preservation. Although millions of Connecticut quarters were produced, only a very small number survive in flawless, top-certified condition. The launch of the 50 State Quarters program in 1999 created nationwide excitement. Families, children, and experienced collectors alike began searching their change and building complete sets. The Connecticut Quarter, being part of the first year, holds extra significance because first-year issues often attract long-term collector interest. Many people saved examples as souvenirs, but most entered circulation and developed where over time. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A circulated Connecticut quarter with scratches or dull surfaces is typically worth face value. However, coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition with brilliant luster and sharp details are far rarer than most people realize. When certified at the highest grading levels, these coins become extremely desirable to serious collectors. Collectors often search bankrolls, old jars, and inherited collections hoping to discover a hidden gem. Modern coins may appear common, but finding one that has survived without contact marks or imperfections is surprisingly difficult. As the years pass and more coins show signs of wear, untouched examples become increasingly scarce. That scarcity, combined with the historic importance of the first state quarter's year, drives demand in the marketplace. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter stands as a symbol of both American history and modern collecting enthusiasm. It represents the courage of colonial settlers who protected their charter and the excitement of a coin program that brought millions into the hobby. For many collectors, it is a reminder that even everyday coins can carry extraordinary stories and unexpected value, and now we reach the figure that captures every collector's imagination. In extraordinary, top-certified condition, the Washington State Quarter Dollar Connecticut 1999 with the P Mint mark has reached an astonishing value of $110,000. Yes, a quarter honoring the historic charter oak can achieve a price of $110,000 when rarity, preservation, and collector demand align perfectly. Top 3. We are exploring the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar Fort McHenry 2013, a coin that commemorates the fort where the Star-Spangled Banner was born. At first glance, it may appear to be a standard modern quarter, but its design captures a pivotal moment in American history and carries significant appeal for collectors around the world. Released in 2013 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Fort McHenry Quarter honors the Maryland fort famous for its role during the War of 1812. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, preserving the continuity of the Washington Quarter series. The reverse brings the story to life. Fort McHenry stands proud in the background while the American flag waves triumphantly, symbolizing resilience, patriotism, and the inspiration for the national anthem. This design combines historical significance with artistic detail, making it one of the most visually striking quarters of its program. Let's examine the coin's technical details. The Fort McHenry quarter weighs 5.67 grams, matching the standard weight for modern clad quarters. Its diameter is 24.26 millimeters, giving it the familiar size that fits naturally in the hand. The thickness measures 1.75 millimeters, providing durability while allowing the intricate design elements to remain sharp. These specifications ensure that the coin functions perfectly for circulation while preserving the detail collectors admire. The coin's composition consists of a pure copper core with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, following the standard clad structure used in quarters since 1965. While it contains no precious metals, its collectible value comes from rarity, condition, and demand rather than intrinsic metal content. Modern quarters like this can reach astonishing market prices when preserved in exceptional condition. This particular version carries the P Mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The small p appears on the obverse, identifying its origin. Philadelphia coins are closely examined for strike quality and surface preservation. Although millions of Fort McHenry quarters were minted for circulation, only a small fraction survive in flawless conditions suitable for top certification grades, which makes them highly desirable to collectors. The story behind Fort McHenry adds emotional weight to the coin. During the British attack on Baltimore in 1814, the fort withstood relentless bombardment, and the sight of the American flag flying over the fort the next morning inspired Francis Scott Key to write what would become the Star-Spangled Banner. This coin is not just currency, it is a tribute to American courage, endurance, and patriotism. Holding it is like holding a piece of that history in your hand. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that combine historical significance with strong design. While most circulated quarters are worth face value, high-grade uncirculated examples of Fort McHenry quarters are much rarer. Coins preserved with no scratches, contact marks, or dulling are highly sought after, especially by those completing sets of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. The scarcity of pristine examples contributes significantly to the coin's market value. For collectors, the excitement often lies in discovery. A quarter pulled from a roll or found in an old collection could potentially be a top-grade example. Over time, as more coins experience wear and tear, untouched coins become increasingly scarce. This combination of historical importance, aesthetic appeal, and rarity makes the Fort McHenry quarter one of the most desirable modern quarters for collectors. The 2013 Fort McHenry quarter demonstrates that even coins minted for everyday transactions can achieve remarkable value when history, design, and condition intersect. It connects collectors to a defining moment in American history while offering an opportunity for investment and preservation of heritage. And now we come to the figure that captures the attention of collectors everywhere. In extraordinary, top-certified condition, the Washington State quarter dollar Fort McHenry 2013 with the P Mint mark has reached a remarkable value of $64,000. Yes, a modern quarter honoring the birthplace of the Star-Spangled Banner can achieve a price of $64,000 when rarity, preservation, and collector demand align perfectly. Top 4. The year 1965 was not just another year in American history, it was a turning point. A year when silver disappeared from everyday pocket change, when the sound of coins clinking together changed forever, and when the familiar Washington quarter entered a bold new era. Today, we are diving deep into the story of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar 1965, a coin that many people overlook, yet one that hides incredible value and fascinating history behind its simple appearance. Stay with me, because this ordinary-looking quarter might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. The Washington quarter dollar was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse proudly displays the left-facing portrait of George Washington, strong and dignified, symbolizing leadership and resilience. On the reverse, we see the majestic heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing both strength and peace. But by 1965, something dramatic happened that would forever separate earlier quarters from this one. The 1965 Washington quarter marked the beginning of the clad coinage era in the United States. Due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965. This law removed silver from circulating dimes and quarters. Unlike earlier quarters made of 90% silver, the 1965 quarter was struck using a copper-nickel-clad composition. This means the outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. If you look closely at the edge of the coin, you can actually see the copper stripe, a small but powerful sign that this coin represents a new chapter in American minting history. Now let's talk about the physical details that define this historic coin. The 1965 Washington quarter weighs exactly 5.67 grams. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it that familiar size we all recognize. The thickness of the coin is 1.75 millimeters, solid and durable in the hand. These precise measurements were carefully maintained to ensure vending machines and coin-operated systems would continue functioning smoothly despite the change in metal composition. Even though the silver was gone, the size and weight standards remained consistent with previous issues. One of the most interesting details about the 1965 quarter is its mint mark, or rather, the lack of one. In 1965, 1966, and 1967, the United States Mint removed mint marks from all coins to discourage collectors from hoarding specific mint varieties during the coin shortage. That means no matter where your 1965 quarter was produced, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, you will not find a mint mark on it. This decision makes the coin unique in American numismatic history and adds an extra layer of intrigue for collectors. Production numbers were enormous. Hundreds of millions of these quarters were struck to meet public demand. Because of this high mintage, most 1965 quarters found in circulation today are worth only face value. However, condition changes everything. Coins preserved in uncirculated condition, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can command impressive premiums. Even more valuable are rare error varieties, such as doubled dies or coins accidentally struck on silver planchets left over from 1964. These transitional errors are extremely rare and highly sought after by serious collectors, imagine discovering that your ordinary-looking quarter was accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet intended for the previous year. These rare transitional error coins weigh slightly more than the standard 5.67 grams and lack the visible copper edge. When authenticated and graded by professional services, such coins can reach astonishing auction results. That is why collectors carefully weigh and inspect 1965 quarters, hoping to uncover a hidden treasure among everyday change, beyond its monetary value. The 1965 Washington quarter represents a powerful shift in American economic history. It reflects a time when metal markets influenced national policy, when the government had to adapt quickly to protect circulating coinage. This quarter symbolizes practicality over tradition, marking the end of the silver era and the beginning of modern clad coin production that continues to this day. For collectors, this coin offers multiple layers of interest: historical significance, composition change, the mystery of missing mint marks, and the excitement of potential error varieties. It reminds us that even common coins can carry extraordinary stories. Sometimes, the value of a coin is not just in its metal, but in the history it represents and the rare possibilities it holds. And now, let's talk about the number everyone is waiting for. While most 1965 Washington quarters are worth only 25 cents in circulation, a rare transitional error struck on a silver planchet in exceptional condition has reached auction values as high as $250,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $250,000. So check your pockets, examine your coin jars, and never underestimate the power of a single quarter. If you have a 1965 Washington quarter, weigh it, inspect the edge, and you might just be holding a small piece of history worth a fortune. Top 5. There are some coins that quietly pass through millions of hands, and then there are coins that carry a hidden story powerful enough to shake the entire numismatic world. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar 1966 is one of those coins. At first glance, it looks ordinary, just another quarter jingling in your pocket. But when you step into its history, its design, and the rare possibilities behind it, you realize this small piece of metal represents one of the most dramatic transitions in American coinage history. We're uncovering everything about the 1966 Washington quarter, and by the end of this story, you may never look at your spare change the same way again. The Washington quarter design itself dates back to 1932, created by John Flanagan to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. On the obverse, we see the familiar left-facing portrait of Washington, strong, composed, and symbolic of leadership. The word Liberty arches above his head, while "In God We Trust" appears to the left, and the date 1966 rests proudly at the bottom. Flip the coin over, and the reverse features a powerful heraldic eagle with wings fully spread, clutching arrows and olive branches beneath the inscription United States of America and quarter dollar. It is a classic American design, bold, patriotic, and instantly recognizable. Now let's talk about the precise physical details of this coin. The 1966 Washington quarter weighs exactly 5.67 grams. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it that perfectly balanced size Americans were already accustomed to. The thickness comes in at 1.75 millimeters, providing durability and consistency for everyday commerce. Even though the metal composition had changed just 1 year earlier in 1965, the mint carefully maintained these specifications so that vending machines and coin-operated devices across the country would continue to function without disruption. The composition of the 1966 quarter is copper-nickel clad. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This sandwich-style structure replaced the traditional 90% silver composition used before 1965. If you examine the edge of a 1966 quarter, you will notice the visible copper stripe, a clear sign that this coin belongs to the clad era rather than the earlier silver generation. This change came after the Coinage Act of 1965, which aimed to solve the nationwide coin shortage caused by rising silver prices and public hoarding. One of the most fascinating features of the 1966 quarter is its mint mark, or more accurately, the complete absence of one. During 1965, 1966, and 1967, the United States Mint removed mint marks from all circulating coins. This unusual decision was made to discourage collectors from pulling specific mint varieties out of circulation during the coin shortage crisis. As a result, no matter where your 1966 quarter was produced, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, you will not find a mint mark anywhere on the coin. This 3-year period without mint marks remains a unique chapter in U.S. numismatic history. In terms of mintage, the numbers were enormous. Hundreds of millions of 1966 quarters were struck to satisfy public demand. Because of this high production, most examples found in circulation today are worth only face value. However, condition plays a major role in the coin's market value. Uncirculated coins with strong original mint luster, sharp details in Washington's hair, and crisp eagle feathers can command significant premiums among collectors. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels by professional grading services become especially desirable, but here's where the story becomes truly exciting. Rare error varieties of the 1966 Washington quarter have stunned collectors at auction. Transitional errors, coins accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from earlier years, are extraordinarily rare but highly valuable. These error coins typically weigh slightly more than the standard 5.67 grams and lack the copper-colored edge stripe. When authenticated and preserved in exceptional condition, such pieces can achieve breathtaking auction results. Other valuable errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies that occurred during high-speed production. Beyond its potential financial value, the 1966 Washington quarter represents resilience and adaptation in American history. It tells the story of a nation adjusting to economic pressure, shifting away from precious metals in everyday currency while maintaining public confidence. It stands as a symbol of modernization in U.S. coinage, a bridge between the silver past and the clad future that continues today. Collectors appreciate this coin not just for what it is, but for what it represents. It's a reminder that even in years of massive production, rare treasures can still exist. Sometimes the most ordinary coins carry the most extraordinary possibilities. That is why checking your change, examining details carefully, and understanding mint history can transform a simple quarter into a thrilling discovery. And now for the moment everyone waits for. While most 1966 Washington quarters remain worth just 25 cents in everyday circulation, a rare silver transitional error or exceptional high-grade specimen has reached astonishing auction levels, climbing as high as $240,000. $240,000 for a single quarter. So before you spend that next coin, take a closer look. The next life-changing discovery might already be sitting in your pocket. Top 6. There are coins that shout for attention, and then there are coins that whisper their secrets only to those who truly listen. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar 1971 is one of those quiet storytellers. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary piece of change, something you might use for parking meters or vending machines. But behind that familiar design lies a powerful connection to American history, economic change, and the thrilling possibility of hidden treasure. We are taking a deep dive into the 1971 Washington quarter, and by the end of this journey, you may find yourself checking every quarter that passes through your hands. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932, created to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a dignified left-facing portrait of the first President of the United States. Above his head is the word Liberty, while "In God We Trust" appears to the left, and the date 1971 is proudly displayed below. Turn the coin over, and you will see the classic heraldic eagle with wings fully spread, clutching arrows and olive branches. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar frame the design, along with E pluribus unum above the eagle. This bold and patriotic artwork remained unchanged in 1971, continuing a tradition that Americans had trusted for decades. Now let's examine the precise physical details of this coin. The 1971 Washington quarter weighs exactly 5.67 grams. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it that consistent size recognized across generations. The thickness is 1.75 millimeters, ensuring durability for daily circulation. Even as the composition of U.S. coins shifted in the mid-1960s, these measurements remained steady so that machines and cash registers nationwide could function without disruption. Every fraction of a gram and millimeter was carefully controlled by the United States Mint. Speaking of composition, the 1971 quarter is struck in copper-nickel clad. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This layered construction replaced the 90% silver composition that ended in 1964. If you look closely at the edge of a 1971 quarter, you will clearly see the copper stripe running through the middle, the unmistakable signature of the clad era. This composition made the coin more economical to produce while maintaining strength and longevity in circulation, unlike the coins from 1965 through 1967, which carried no mint marks at all. The 1971 quarter once again displays mint marks. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint typically show no mint mark during this period, while those from the Denver Mint carry a small D mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail. Additionally, special proof versions were produced at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S mint mark and featuring mirror-like fields with frosted details. These proof coins were specially made for collectors and were never intended for everyday circulation. In terms of mintage, the numbers for 1971 were substantial. Hundreds of millions of quarters were produced to meet the needs of a growing economy. Because of this high production, most circulated examples remain worth face value today. However, condition makes all the difference. Coins that have never entered circulation and still display full mint luster can command higher premiums. High-grade specimens graded by professional services, especially those with sharp details in Washington's hair and fully defined eagle feathers, are much more desirable to collectors. Era coins add another exciting layer to the story. Some 1971 quarters exhibit double die varieties, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other minting anomalies. These errors occurred during high-speed production and can significantly increase a coin's value. Collectors carefully examine the lettering, date, and design elements under magnification, searching for slight doubling or unusual characteristics that set a coin apart from the ordinary. While rare, these error coins are proof that even a common year can hide extraordinary surprises. Beyond the numbers and technical details, the 1971 Washington quarter reflects an America in transition. The early 1970s were marked by economic shifts, cultural change, and global challenges. This coin quietly circulated during that transformative era, passing through the hands of millions of Americans. It witnessed everyday purchases, road trips, and moments of history, all while carrying the timeless image of George Washington as a symbol of unity and stability. For collectors, the beauty of the 1971 quarter lies in its accessibility and its hidden potential. It reminds us that collecting is not always about ancient or silver coins. Sometimes, modern clad coins can hold remarkable value, especially in pristine condition or rare error form. The thrill comes from the search, from inspecting each coin carefully and wondering if this might be the one that stands out from the rest. And now we come to the moment you've been waiting for. While most 1971 Washington quarters remain worth just 25 cents in circulation, certain rare high-grade examples or exceptional error varieties have achieved auction prices reaching as high as $40,000. $40,000 for a single quarter. That is the power of condition, rarity, and keen observation. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look. The next remarkable discovery might already be resting in your pocket, waiting for you to recognize its true worth. Top 7. Some coins don't just represent money, they represent a moment in time. The United States of America Washington quarter $1981 may look like an ordinary coin resting quietly in your pocket, but behind its familiar design lies a fascinating story of production challenges, collector demand, and rare high-grade treasures that have stunned the numismatic world. We're exploring every detail of the 1981 Washington quarter, from its specifications to its hidden value, and by the end of this journey, you may feel inspired to take a closer look at every quarter you own. The Washington quarter design had already been part of American life for nearly 50 years by 1981. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the coin features the classic left-facing portrait designed by John Flanagan. On the obverse, Liberty appears boldly above Washington's head, with "In God We Trust" placed to the left, and the date 1981 positioned at the bottom. Turn the coin over, and you will see the powerful heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches beneath the words United States of America and quarter dollar, along with E pluribus unum above the eagle. Even in 1981, this timeless patriotic design remained strong and instantly recognizable. Now let's focus on the precise physical specifications of the 1981 quarter. The coin weighs exactly 5.67 grams, maintaining the standard set during the clad era. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, giving it the consistent size Americans were accustomed to in everyday transactions. The thickness is 1.75 millimeters, providing durability and strength for circulation. These measurements were carefully controlled by the United States Mint to ensure compatibility with vending machines, parking meters, and banking systems across the country. In terms of composition, the 1981 Washington quarter is made of copper nickel clad. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. If you examine the edge of the coin, you will notice the visible copper stripe running through the center, a defining feature of clad coinage that replaced the earlier 90% silver composition in 1965. This layered construction made the coin cost-effective to produce while remaining durable enough for heavy circulation. When it comes to mint marks, the 1981 quarter was struck at multiple facilities. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally carried no mint mark during this era, while those struck at the Denver Mint feature a small D mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail. In addition, proof coins were produced at the San Francisco Mint and display an S mint mark. These proof versions were specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and frosted design details that stand out beautifully under light. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1981 Washington quarter is its mintage context. While millions were produced for circulation, this year saw comparatively lower mintages than some earlier decades. Because of economic conditions and changes in coin demand, fewer uncirculated rolls were saved by the public. As a result, finding high-grade mint state examples today can be more challenging than many collectors expect. Coins with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp detailing in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are especially desirable. Era varieties also add excitement to the 1981 quarter series. Collectors search for double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting anomalies that occurred during production. Even subtle doubling in the lettering or date can significantly increase a coin's value when authenticated by professional grading services. These small imperfections, created during high-speed minting, transform an everyday coin into a rare collectible treasure. Beyond the technical details, the 1981 Washington quarter represents America during a dynamic period of economic transition. The early 1980s were marked by inflation concerns, shifting markets, and renewed national optimism. This coin circulated through grocery stores, gas stations, and countless daily transactions, quietly witnessing history while carrying the enduring image of George Washington, a symbol of stability and leadership. For collectors, the beauty of the 1981 quarter lies in its balance between accessibility and rarity. While most examples remain worth face value in circulated condition, pristine uncirculated coins and rare proof or error varieties can command impressive premiums. The thrill of coin collecting often comes from discovering that something ordinary can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. And now, the moment everyone waits for. While the majority of 1981 Washington quarters are worth just 25 cents in everyday use, a rare high-grade specimen or exceptional error coin has achieved auction prices reaching as high as $145,000. $145,000 for a single quarter. That incredible figure proves that sometimes the smallest pieces of history can carry the greatest rewards. So take a closer look at your change, examine the details carefully, and remember, hidden value might already be in your hands.